Hello, Pizza Packs here, and we're back with foreign grab bag number 8. Let's see what this one has. Alright. So we have Japanese and Korean rivals Vixalon. Japanese Hour of Devastation. French M15. Korean Eldritch Moon. Chinese M15. Russian Eldritch Moon. Spanish Theros. German Eldritch Moon. Chinese M15, Japanese Journey into Nyx, and Chinese Theros. Alright. Let's get started then. So the mix in this one is the same mix we've had in the last few. Keep in mind these are not always the same. Just they have been fairly consistent with the last few. Alright, so Spanish Theros. We'll move those over there. And we have a add card, Theros. That is Bronze Sable. Protectora de Fara? There we go. So that is what? Ten is Afara's Warden. Tap to tap target creature with power 3 or less. 6, we have Sip of Hemlock. 64. That is Stymied Hopes. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1, scry 1. That's Opal Unicorn. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Let's see. 179. That is Staunch Hearted Warrior. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. 77. Asphodel Wanderer. 3 and a black, regenerate it. That is Satiro Vallero. It's Traveling Satyr. Tap, untap, target land. Titan Strength. Target creature gets +3/+1 and haste until end of turn. Scry 1. Let's see, 78 is Baleful Eidolon. Bestow 4 and a black. Death Touch. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and Death Touch. Let's see, 194 is Horizon Chimera. Flash, Flying Trample. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 1 life. Ordeal of Heliod. That is enchant creature. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, sacrifice Ordeal of Heliod. When you sacrifice it, gain 10 life. Let's see. 123. That is Flame Speaker Adept. Whenever you scry, it gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Let's see, 12. That is Fabled Hero. Double strike. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Plains. Very nice. Chinese Theros. Let's see, 164. We have Nessian Asp, Reach, and then Monstrosity 4 for 6 and a green. Is Bronze Sable. Not one of those, just vanilla 2-1. It's one that you tap it, it's tap down target, 3-drop. That's Journey's End. Turn target creature to its owner's hand, scry 1. Let's see, 29. That is Setessan Battle Priest. It's heroic. Whenever you target it, gain 2 life. The spell, gain 2 life. 24, that is Observant Alseed, with Bestow for 4 and a white. Vigilance. An enchanted creature gets +2/+2 in Vigilance. Let's see, 105. We have Scourge Mark. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0. 44. Coastline Chimera. Flying 1 and a white. It can block an additional creature this turn. Right, 137. Rage of Perforos. 4 damage to our creature. It can't be regenerated this turn. Scry 1. Alright, this is 74. Satyr Hedonist. Red and sacrifice it, add 3 red to your mana pool. Very cool. Let's see, 15 is Glare of Heresy. Exile target white permanent. 68. Thassa's Emissary. Bestow. Whenever it or enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3. Nice. 215. This is Flamecast Wheel. 5 and sack. It's 5 tap sack. Deal 3 damage to target creature. 32. We have Soldier of the Pantheon. Protection from multicolored. Whenever an opponent casts a multicolored spell, you gain 1 life. Very nice. Then we have an island and an ad card. Very cool. On to Journey into Nyx. Japanese Journey into Nyx. We have Japanese ad card for Facebook. Yeah. We get a mountain. Very nice. And a mythic. We've actually gotten this one before, I think. Let's see. 50. That is Sage of Hours. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Remove all +1/+1 counters from it. For each 5 counters removed this way, take an extra turn after this one. Very nice. Let's see, 153. That is Nyx Weaver. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. 1 black and a green, exile it, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. It's Reach. Let's see, 118. Colossal Heroics. 2 and a green. Then it has Strive for 1 and a green. Any number of target creatures each gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. 35. We have Dakra Mystic. Blue and tap. Each player reveals the top card of his or her library. You may put the revealed cards into their owner's graveyards. If you don't, each player draws a card. 13. We have Harvest Guard All Seeds. Constellation. Whenever it or an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. 39. We have God Hunter Octopus. Can't attack unless defending player controls an enchantment or an enchanted permanent. It's a 5/5. 125. That's not right. 123. Font of Fertility. 1 in a green, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. So it's an enchantment that on its own doesn't do anything, but it turns into rampant growth. For the cost of rampant growth. 64. We have Cruel Feeding. Instant, strive for 1 in a black. Any number of target creatures each gets +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn. 45. We have Pen to the Earth. Enchanted creature gets -6/-0. 133. Oakheart Dryads. Constellation. When it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +1/+1 till end of turn. 114. We have Starfall. Instant, 3 damage to target creature. If that creature is an enchantment, deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. 127. Humbler of Mortals. Constellation. When it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. 2. Lightning Diadem. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Then we have a Crowan Mastiff. White, tap target creature. Very nice. Alright. M15. Starting off with our Chinese one. 56, we have Fugitive Wizard. Just a vanilla 1/1. It is Foundry Street Denizen. Whenever a red creature enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Solemn Offering. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, gain 4 life. 45. We have Amphin Pathmage. 2 in a blue, target creature can't be blocked this turn. Let's see, 207. Divine Weft. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. 4 in a green, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Is it Shadow Cloak Vampire, I think? 113. Shadow Cloak Vampire, yeah. Pay 2 life, it gains flying until end of turn. Rogue's Guile. Enchanted creature, or target creature gets +1/+1 and hexproof until end of turn, if I remember correctly. 193. Ranger's Guile, not Rogue's Guile. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and hexproof until end of turn. I got what it did correct. Just didn't quite get the name. 98. Flesh to Dust. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. That is Sign in Blood. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Radiant Fountain. Taps for colorless. When it comes into play, gain 2 life. Let's see. 69. Nice. We have Military Intelligence. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. This Cone of Fire. Deal 1 damage to target creature, deal 2 damage to another target creature, and 3 damage to another target creature. Powering Light. Exile target attacking or blocking creature, convoke. 117. Stain the Mind. Convoke, name a non-land card. Search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Sorcery. Mountain, and an add card. Very cool. We have another Foundry Street Denizen. I think we have a playset of Chinese ones now. We have Heliod's Pilgrim. When it comes into play, search your library for a enchantment. Put it into your hand. I think it's put it into your hand. It might actually be put it onto it. Heliod's Pilgrim. Yeah, so shuffle, reveal it, put it, or shuffle your library, reveal the artifact or the aura card, and put it into your hand and shuffle. That is Frostlinks. Target creature doesn't untap during target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Let's see, 107. Necromancer's Assistant. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards from your library. Hunt the Weak. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It fights target creature you don't control. 239. Haven't seen this one. Will Forged Golem. Convoke. It's 4/4 for 6 with Convoke. 48. That is Chronostutter. A target creature on top of its owner's library, second from the top. Let's see, 131. This one actually saw some play. Borderland Marauder. Whenever it attacks, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. Let's see, this is Oreskos Swiftclaw? Yeah, Oreskos Swiftclaw. It's just vanilla 3/1. Encrust, tap enchant artifact or creature, tap it, it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Meteor. When it comes into Meteorite. When it comes into play, deal 2 damage to any target. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Let's see. 102. Leeching Sliver. Whenever a sliver you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life. Very good one. Dissipate. Counter target spell. Exile it instead of putting into its owner's graveyard. Let's see. 139. That is Crucible of Fire. Dragon creatures you control get +3/+3. Very nice. Planes and an insect token. So from Hornet Queen, that's Flying and Death Touch. On to Spanish Theros. Or not Theros, Spanish M15. These brain. $157 is Miner's Bane. 2 in a red. It gets +1/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. It's the golem that we just got a moment ago. It's a 4/4 with Convoke. Peel from Reality. Return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. Peel from Reality, yeah. Return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. Very nice. Oreskos Swiftclaw, vanilla 1/1, or vanilla 3/1. Oh. Target player mills 8 cards, I think. 70. Mind Sculpt. Top 7. Target player mills 7 cards. It's the Marauder. We got one in the last pack. When it attacks, it gets +2/+0. 204. Undergrowth Scavenger. When it enters the battlefield, with a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. This is Zoffshade. 2 and a black, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Plummet. Destroy target creature with flying. Ornithopter. Flying 0/2 for 0. Very nice. Spirit of something. 13. Geist of the Moors. 3/1 flyer for 3. This is Staff of the Fire Magus. Staff of the Flame Magus. Whenever you cast a red spell or a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Let's see. 111. Paragon of Open Graves. Other black creatures you control get +1/+1. 2 and a black. Another target black creature you control gets Death Touch until end of turn. It's a Skeleton Warrior. This is Jalira, Master Polymorphist. Let's see. Yep, Jalira, Master Polymorphist. 2 and a blue, tap it, sacrifice another creature, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card. Put that card on the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Then we have an island and an ad card for Khans of Tarkir. 8. On to Eldritch Moon. German Eldritch Moon. Ooh. One of the human insect tokens. Let's see, 108. We have Thraben Foulbloods. Delirium, it gets +1/+1, and Menace, as long as there are 4 more card types in your graveyard. It's the vanilla 2/1 Scarecrow. 78. That is Turn Aside. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. 82 is Borrowed Malevolence. Escalate for 2. Target creature gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. 180. Woodland Patrol Vigilance. Alchemist Greeting. 4 damage. I think it's 4 damage to target creature. 116. Yeah, Alchemist Greeting. 4 damage to target creature. Madness too. 42. That is Garden Priest. 1, tap target non-human creature. Something of the past. I don't remember. Grapple with the past. That's it. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then you may return a creature or land from your graveyard to your hand. 44. We have Steadfast Cathar. Whenever it attacks, it gets +2/+0, or +0/+2 until end of turn. 48. Vilden Pack Outcast. Trample. For red, it gets +1/-1. Transforms for 7. And it turns into Drone Pack Kindred. For a colorless, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn and has Trample. We have Weaver of Lightning. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Let's see, 9. We have Lashweed Lurker. Emerge for 5 green-blue. Whenever you cast it, you may put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. $114. We have Whispers of Emrakul. Target opponent discards a card at random. Delirium. They do 2 instead. We have Tameo, Field Researcher. Heck yeah. Literally my favorite card in the set. So, +1. Shoots up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage, you draw a card. -2. Tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during the controller's next untap step. Then -7. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with. You may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana costs. Very nice. And a flip card. Alright, now Russian. Alright, we get an insect token. 37. 67, not 37. We have Laboratory Brute. Enters the battlefield. Mill the top 4 cards of your library. 13. We have Weirded Vampire. Madness, 3 and a black. Or 2 and a black. Madness, rather. 58. Enlightened Maniac. Whenever it enters the battlefield, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi Horror token into play. That is, let's not discombobulate. I forget. Displace? 53. Convolute. That's it. Convolute. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. 144. Stensia Banquet. Deals damage to target opponent equal to the number of vampires you control. Draw a card. Create 2 1/1 flying spirit white flying spirit tokens. Gain 2 life. The actual name of it isn't super important. 173, Swift Spinner, Flash Reach, 2/3. It's a rest that you can pay 3 white to exile the card. Let's see, 139. Prophetic Ravings, enchant creature. It has haste and tap to rummage. So discard a card, draw a card. 175. Boomwald Captive. Tapped out a green as defender. Tapped out a green, transform for 7. And when you transform it, you can tap to add double colorless. 22. Rogskull Shieldmate, Flash. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +0/+1 until end of turn. '88. We have Dusk Feaster. Delirium, it costs 2 less, and has flying. That's Is it Imprison in the Moon? Something like that? No, it's Lunar Force. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, sacrifice it and counter that spell. Enchantment. And then we have Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Or no, Thraben Heretic? Thalia, Thraben Heretic, I think. It is Thalia. I know that. Thalia, Heretic, Cathar. That's it. First strike, and then creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Then I have flip card. So two really good rares. Now we have our Korean back. This Galvanic Bombardment deals 2 damage to target creature. 2 damage plus the number of Galvanic Bombardments in your graveyard to target creature. It's the Griff. Wretched Griff. Yeah, that's it. Wretched Griff, emerge for 6. Flying when it comes in, or when you cast it, draw a card. Let's see, 126. We have Distemper of the Blood. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Madness for a red. Woodcutter's Grit, I think. It's +3. Yeah, Woodcutter's Grit. +3/+3 and hexproof. 4. We have Certain Death. Destroy target creature, its controller loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. It's something like Fanatic Cultist, something like that. When it dies, you draw a card. 121. Borrowed Hostility, Escalate. Target creature gets +3/+0 till end of turn, or first strike until end of turn. That's Cathar's Shield. If creature gets +0/+3, then it's equipped 3. 0 drop. It's actually used in Cheerios. Lunarch Mantle. It has equipped creature gets +2/+2 and 1. It gains flying until end of turn. Something undead. It comes in with a counter, and you can return it to your hand from your graveyard. Haunted Dead. That's it. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token flying onto the battlefield. 1 and a black. Discard 2 cards. Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Oh, that's it. We have Abundant Maw. Whenever you cast it, target opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life, and it has emerged for 7. 152. We have Clear Shot. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 till end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. 37. We have Providence. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of the first upkeep, your life total becomes 26. And then for 7 mana, your life total becomes 26. Oh, that's cool. Let's see, 174. It's Tangleclaw Werewolf. It can block an additional creature each combat. 7 mana transform. Vigilance must be blocked if able, and can block an additional creature each combat. We have a zombie token and a flip card. Very cool. Oh. Now for Hour of Devastation. We have a 1/1 soldier token. Island. We have crazy Staff thingy. 132. That is Rona's Last Stand. I forgot about that. Create a 5/3 green snake creature token. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. Basically, 2 mana 5/4 that skips your next untap. Let's see, 85. That is Burning Fist Minotaur. First strike, 1 in a red, discard a card, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. 127 is Quarry Beetle. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's 4/5 for 5. This is, what's it, Hashtag Oasis? It's a desert. You can tap it for a colorless, tap it, and pay a life. It's for a blue, and then you can pay 1 a blue, tap it, sacrifice another desert to mill target player for 4 cards. Just double check that. Okay, I had the name wrong. It's Ipnu Rivulet, but everything else is right. It's a desert. Taps for colorless, pay a life, and tap it to add a blue mana. For 1 and a blue, tap and sacrifice a desert, target player mills 4 cards. I love that card. This is the Sidewinder. It has hexproof and cycles for a blue. This is commonly used in Cycle Storm, and it's occasionally used in Living End. Let's see, 48. Striped or Striped Riverwinder. Love that card. That is the red desert that cycles for 2. It comes into play tapped. Let's see, 170. Desert of the Fervent. It's a good one. Let's see, 42. Proven Combatant. It just has Eternalize for 4 blue. So 1/1 for 1 otherwise. Let's see, 128. Rampaging Hippo, Trample, cycling 2. Is Mana Obelisk, something like that. 164. Manalith. Yeah, tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. 66. It's Kenra Eternal. Afflict 1. That's not it's not Gift of Strength. 133. What is that? Rona's Stalwart. May exert it as it attacks. When you do, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn and can't be blocked by power with creatures with power 2 or less this turn. It's Gamble. 24. It is Solitary Camel. Has lifelink as long as you control a desert or there is a desert in your graveyard. It's a 3/2 for 3. It's Crash Through. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn, draw a card. And that is Firebrand Archer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Either each opponent or target opponent. I think it's each opponent, though. Alright, Rivals of Ixalan. Let's get through this. I've got a killer headache now, for some reason. Probably because I didn't sleep well, and I've got these bright lights on my face. Treasure token. Very nice. Island. I have 22. It is Slaughter the Strong. Each player chooses any number of creatures he or she controls with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures he or she controls. Neat. 168. That is Raging Regisaur. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. 123. We have Cacophedon. Whenever it is dealt damage, untap target permanent. It's the black-white tap duel. Let's see, 140. We have Orazka Frelback, just vanilla 4-2. 108. Orazka Raptor, vanilla 3-4. 96. You have Buccaneers Bravado. Choose one, instant choose one. Target creature gets +1/+1 in first strike. Target pirate gets +1/+1 in double strike until end of turn for both. 135. We have Jadecraft Artisan. There's the battlefield. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. That's crested. It's the Ascend thing. I always forget this thing's name. 23. Stubborn Sentry. Ascend. It gets +3/+0 as long as you have the city's blessing. Raptor Companion, vanilla 3-1. Negate. Counter target non-creature spell. 74. Grasping Scoundrel. +1/+0 as long as it's attacking. It still sees play occasionally. 61. That is Water Knot. There's a battlefield. Tap enchanted creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap. And 84. We have Recover. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Draw a card as a sorcery. Nice. Now we have our Korean pack. Let's get going. Wow. You'd think that they would change their stock images. Hey, we got another treasure. Nice. 34. We have Crashing Tide. This flash, as long as you control a merfolk, return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card. 116. No. Damn it. Why? 116. Stampeding Horncrest. Has haste as long as you control another dinosaur. Raptor Companion, vanilla 3-1. 132. That is Hardy Veteran. As long as it's your turn, it gets +0/+2. 91. That is Voracious Vampire. Menace. When it enters the battlefield, target vampire you control gets +1/+1 in minutes until end of turn. Is that Stomp? No, that's Naturalize. Destroy target artifact or enchantment as an instant. Unfortunately, that has been replaced by the by Return to Nature, which is a strictly better version of the same card, because it can also hit the graveyard. 14. It's Martyr of Dusk. Whenever it dies, it's a 2-1, vanilla 2-1 effectively, but when it dies, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. 76. We have Impale. Destroy target creature as a sorcery. 134. That is Jade Bearer. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target merfolk you control. 56. Soul of the Rapids. Flying Hexproof. see, 124. Cherished hatchling. Whenever it dies, you may cast dinosaur spells this turn as though they had flash, and whenever you cast a dinosaur spell this turn, it gains... When this creature enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature. Holy crap. That's cool. 37. We have Expel from Orazka. When in a blue instant, Ascend. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you have the city's blessing, you may put that permanent on top of its owner's library instead. 87. We have Charging Tuscadon. Trample. If it would deal combat damage to a player, it deals double that damage to that player instead. Oh, this was one of the good ones. This was one of the reanimate targets. Zapata, Primal Dawn. And it is almost worthless, which is kind of funny. As flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. Jeez. And a planes. Very nice. Well, thank you for joining me on this adventure. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It is the best way to help out the channel in a non-monetary fashion at no cost to yourself. If you'd like to help out the channel in a monetary fashion, the best way to do that is through our Patreon. It is linked in our About page and gives you access to cool stuff like our Discord and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, give that a consider if you'd like what we're doing here and want to support us financially. Other than that, as always, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.